Hey everyone, it's Demisha Ricks. I'm back, Miss Money Senses. We're about to talk about this money. Now, we're sitting here thinking about this in this bedroom. Now, we talked about banking. Last time we talked about the debit cards, we talked about fees, we talked about what it means when you sign up, when you put your signature on things. We talked about those things when it comes to banking. Now, here's something important that I want you to really think about. Do your research about your particular circumstances or ethnicity or whatever else you have going on. So, say if you're a refugee, you come from a different country, see how a particular bank treats you or how they have been perceived in the news by what has happened with their clientele. Here's what I mean by this. I read a story a few months ago, two or three, and it was a young rapper in Georgia, I believe. Young man got money out of his own account, $2 million, to go buy a car. Okay. Bank manager called the police on him for getting out his own money. Now, see, here's some of the things that make you think about. Well, why did they call him on getting his own money out? It's $2 million. I mean, it's a lot of money, but why they call it on getting him out? Here's something that you got to realize. One, banks don't carry that much money on hand on a regular basis because of robberies, etc. They got to get money each and every week. Okay. Two, when you get over $10,000 in cash, because he got cash, it was not a cashier's check, it was cash. So when you get over $10,000 in cash, you had to fill out what's called a CTR, currency transaction record. This is so the government can check it, so to make sure you're not money laundering, and verify where you're trying to spend this money. So you're not washing money, dirty money, illegal money. If you don't know what dirty money is, money gotten by illegal means, which was not the case. He just happened to be a rapper who made money. Now, likely he went in there with his government name. When I say they don't have this money on hand, they have to order the money, and you have to put in there why or who you are ordering the money for. So not only did the bank manager know that he was getting it in advance, because it would take probably about a week to get it, they knew who it was because they had his name. They had to have him sign the CTR, show all kinds of identification. They identified him in the bank. It wasn't until outside of the bank that the police got him for his own money, guns drawn, everything. And you're thinking, okay, dang, well, what? When the police officer finally realized, oh, dang, he's getting his own money out. Why were we called to get his own money out? That's when they were like, oh, yes. Okay. Here's another example. In the West, this was an employee talking about how he was an investment banker. So with this particular bank that he worked with, when you are a client that has over $250,000 in your account, you're considered a private client. They moved him to an area where there was not a lot of wealth. There was not a lot of traffic for anybody that had kind of money. Okay. And he was like, why? My performance does not denote me having to be downgraded, because he was in an area where that was affluent, that had money. And when they transferred him, there was a client that came in, former NFL player. He was wealthy and such. And they gave him a person who had been newly brought into the position. So they didn't have a lot of experience. And he was like, why is it that I feel uncomfortable bringing my money? The client brought this up. He was like, I know what size I am, because he's like a big linebacker. You know, linebackers ain't small. He's like, I know I'm a big black man from the East Coast. Come on. He's like, but I have my money. Why am I not set up with this particular accounts just like everybody else? And his new investment person who was new to the job was like, I'm sorry, this is happening, etc., etc. So you have to pay attention to how people will treat you regardless if you have money or not. Okay. Things that you will never get away from is reporting. So like this, the the CTR, you'll have to fill out regardless of who you are. Doesn't matter how much money you have to fill it out because that's how the government tracks, makes sure you don't utilize money in illegal means. They're trying to do their best to cut that down. You will have to sign. You have to prove who you are. But the blatant discrimination will happen. It happens to employees. It happens to clients. And it could just happen to anybody. So that's why I say, when you are looking into these banks, look at what you can Google Google the said bank with your circumstances, i.e. grew up in a foster home, homeless, your ethnicity. Look these up, okay? Look these up, and that can help you to determine where you want to put your money. Because if they aren't going to lend you money to expand your wealth, why would you put your money in them? If they're not going to help you expand your wealth, as in you will be treated poorly or treated differently than the typical client who has the same amount of money or has the same, at least the same minimums, you meet the same minimums as the others, then why would you put your money there? So those type of things you want to consider when you are looking for a bank. Now, here's the other thing. Make sure, don't get upset if you're going to get like a hold on a particular, we've seen this on your check. We've seen this plenty of times. There have been plenty of people of color who got their check. Let's say you got an incredible job where you get a high commission check. Let's say real estate. And this was a story that happened earlier this year, actually last year, end of last year, prior to the pandemic. Man went in with his commission check that he got off of real estate, and he was doing high-end real estate. And they wanted to hold his check darn near a month, which is illogical, because you can call the bank to see if it's a legitimate check. You can also call the owner of the check or the person who writes the check to see if it's available or to see if it is even a legit check. So the excessive holds, unless there is a legal reason for you to do so, you need to check where you got your money. Now, here's the thing. If it is outside of your pattern, and what I mean by this is if you have regular direct deposits, such as you get your regular paycheck. You get your regular paycheck, let's say you making $2,500, $4,000 a month. Okay, that's your regular stuff. But then you start getting some checks that are $10,000, $20,000, and that is literally not anywhere in your history. They're going to question it, and they will hold it. Now, here's some things that here's what they cannot hold. If you get a wire transfer to your account, there's no hold on the wire transfer. Cashier's check. I wish you would hold it. Now, sometimes they try to, but a cashier's check, you have to have guaranteed funds to get a cashier's check, just like you do with the money order. So holding a cashier's check, when you can, right at the bottom, it says on the front of the cashier's check, call this number to verify funds. You can call the bank on verified funds. So if you're going to get a big check, I recommend, please, to get a cashier's check or get a wire transfer to eliminate people trying to put a hold on your money. So consider these things. These are things that you need to deeply consider, because we don't want anybody messing with our money. And if you don't want anybody messing with your money, don't mess up your own money. Now, again, next time we're going to talk about moving out. This is where we're the meat and potatoes, okay? So if you got questions for Miss Money Sense, Demisha Ricks, get ready. I'm here. I'm ready for you. Come with it. Any questions I can answer, I will be happy to do so. I hope y'all have a great day and stay safe out there, okay? Stay safe, stay healthy.